Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Hey, I've got a piston, so we're going to get the HS1 put back together, hopefully, and maybe we'll get it in the frame and a few things hooked up. Don't think we'll have time to start it today, but we'll have to do a lot of adjustments and filling up the fluids and all that stuff. So I really think that just getting the engine finished up and getting it in the frame and maybe getting a few things hooked up is about as far as we'll be able to get. But we're going to press on with it, and I've got some pretty cool information. I'm learning stuff all the time, and what I thought about the piston is not what turned out to be. But let me get you overhead here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to thumbs up. Okay, this is the piston that we had before, and this is the new one. Let me see, let me get them rounded up here the same way. Okay, you can see back here is the pins on that one. That's the one that we had before, and here are the pins on the new one towards the exhaust port. Now what I found out was, if you remember right, about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I had an AT-90 Yamaha, which was the 90cc twin that was for the Japanese market only. And when I looked at it, I went back and looked at that video, and when we put the rings in it, it had these pistons, just like this, with the pins in the back. And why, you may ask? Well, because it was a 4-port cylinder. Otherwise we had, let's see, you had the intake right there. You had a transfer on both sides. And you had an exhaust port. Now, this is the HS1, and you can see that they've added these 2 ports above the intake. That's the difference. When they added those ports, then you no longer could have the ring gap where the pins was on the intake side, because they'd hook in those ports. Remember when in the last video, we showed how that would happen. So it's very interesting to see that. And what I'll do is I'll put a link to that video in the description block on this video. So if you'd like to go back and look at it, you can. Now, what actually transpired here, I'm not sure, but it was the right part number, but the wrong piston in there. So I'm assuming that they mispackaged it. So, why would for Japanese market only piston be sent to the United States if there's no bikes over here? I mean, there are some, evidently, because I've got one, but anyhow, that is what it is. So I won't be trying to move those. I don't think. It just, somewhere, someone out there probably needs an AT-90 piston, and in this country, and all they're going to find are these, the HS1s. And, and that's probably where the non-keystone rings go. The non-keystone rings will probably go in the AT-90 pistons. But I'm sure that I put keystone rings in the AT-90 I have, because I just ordered them for HS1. And I can see where you can use those that way, but you can't use the keystone in a non-keystone piston. No, that's not right either, is it? You can use the keystone in a non-keystone piston, but you can't use non-keystone rings in a keystone piston. That, I think, is right. Hopefully you know where I'm going with that. Anyhow, let's get on with this thing. I've got all my parts laying here, I believe. Everything's cleaned up or bagged, so I don't need to clean it. And I'm just going to go ahead and start with assembly of the new piston. Okay, let's try this again. We get our assembly lube on the bearing there. Get that in. And I've got my rings already on. And I've got my keeper in right here on this side. That'll be this one. Here's our pins on the front. Otherwise, the exhaust port. Let me see if I got a little more light here. Yeah. Give me a little Yamaha lube and get it pumped up there. Okay. And the piston pin bosses. And I'll go ahead and get a little on it too. See if I can hold on to it all long enough to get it in place. So far, so good. And I got my holes all plugged here. Okay. Let's do a little double check here, make sure it's all seated. And it is. We've got our ring over the pin there. And there. Okay. All right, got our base gasket on. Let's get our paper towels out of there. Okay. Let's get a little Yamaha lube in those ring lands. Okay. Let's see if this will go down there. Boy, it's dinky. Got the top ring in. There we go. There they both are. Got our little oil pipe over here. There. Awesome. Alrighty. Make sure we've got everything wanting to move here. It is. Okay. Let's go ahead and get her head on. And our washers. I'm going to try a little thing here that Ard told me about. I'm putting my washer on the screwdriver and just set it, just put that up on there and set it on your stud, and it just, gravity takes over from there. Awesome. Beats trying to fiddle fart around with a pair of pliers and get it in there. Great. Thank you. And we'll get the nuts on. I think these were 145 inch-pounds. I'm going to have to look again to verify that. Okay. I think I might have over-torqued the ones on in the last video. They should be 90 inch-pounds, and I loosened all these up and went back with 90 on them. I don't know why I was thinking 145. I don't think that's right. Surprised it didn't break something. Okay, we're good. Back at 90 on these. Get my pipe hooked up here. Okay, I think that's good. I don't think we need to wrench it way down. So that's where we're at on that. And we'll just top it off with some fresh B9HC plugs. And I think we're ready to install it into the bike. So let me get ready over there and we'll do just that. Let's see here. Okay, I thought I could lift that right up, but what I had to do was bring this up and then set this into the frame, and it's supporting it. But you can see here in the back where I've got the bosses here for holding the engine in. They're shoved back in. This one here at the bottom is right on top of the jack here, and then in the mid or in the front, we're just right up against it. We've got the two pieces that are going to go in there right here. But looks like what we need to do first is get everything settled in the back. I know I had it setting on this when I took it out, and this makes sense now, but for some reason I thought I could have it down on the bottom, on the lift floor, and raise it up from there, but that's a no-go. Okay, I think I'm hitting the bike here, so I'm taking the bike off the ground right here on the stand. So you can see here where I'm hitting. So I'm going to have to let this down a little bit and move the jack forward. Okay, I think we're pretty close here. Just kind of scoot it back. Should be right there. Probably not quite straight over here. Yep. Get a block under it. Somebody whack that bolt in there for me. There, thank you. Okay, we've got one bolt in, and we're a little bit high, looks like, so as we lower this down, looks like it's got to come over a little bit. There it is. All right. I may still need this jack to hook the front one up, but we'll see where we're at. This is also hooking up the foot pegs and the side stand, so I think I'm going to go to the front. Okay, so try to get all these back in there. There, maybe it won't fall out of the frame now. Okay, I think we can get this out of the way for now. Okay. So, I think we've got to get the foot pegs and side stand on, and that way we can get the bottom back bolt in. All right, kind of back together. Didn't feel like it was quite on. Oh boy, but that's going to be tough to get on there. Nope, right on. Okay. I've got the back wheel off, putting a tire on it. The front one would air up and stay up, but the back one would not. So putting a new tire and tube on it, and we will eventually with the front one also. There, I think that's in. We'll have to adjust all this. We're just going to get it in there. See, somebody has already cut these slides off. I actually bought some YL1s off of eBay, and they were just like them, so I'm just going to leave these in there. That was the hot setup in the day to make these things run more like a 100. Went ahead and cleaned these carbs and tried to get everything adjusted on them. I don't think we did any of that while we were messing around. I think the people I got it from had been messing with carburetors. And get us some new fuel or oil line down here. It might be tricky to get that to come over this way. There. All right, let's see if we can get that on there. There, I think that's good. And pull it back up here so it's not in a bind. Looks good. And maybe about right there, I hope. I hope I already cut it. See, we think this is what happened, is that the hose broke. Probably got old crusty and old and broke. Well, that just isn't going to let me get it over that. There, I think I did it. Yeah, we think that's what it was that caused the oil pump to just run dry and explode, bust a piece out of it, and cause all the issues. I may have to find a bigger clamp. This cap has really gotten hard. I had to heat it to get it off. And I'm going to have to heat it to get it back on, probably. Doesn't take much. Yeah. Of course, it gets pretty hot. Ah. It's not what I wanted to happen. Guess that's going to have to do it. And then get our wire back in here. And we'll go ahead and hook our magneto up. Just match your color codes up. Green to green, orange to orange, and so on and so forth. So when it's all said and done, you've got orange, green, white, yellow, gray. Be careful with the white and the gray, look very close to the same, especially as things age. Now let's see here, let's get our exhaust on. Got the other side on already. We'll just see if we can slide this one on. Okay. Gotta get a chain on it, yeah. We got one long screw that goes up here. It's in pretty good shape. The head's not messed up or anything. 138 millimeter long. I don't have anything like that, so I put in the ones that I had new, but we'll probably have to take this off anyway and set the timing and all that, but it ran before we took it apart, so I'm gonna go with it this way until afterwards, I think. Okay, I've got some new rubbers for the foot pegs, so I can go ahead and put those on. I think I'm going to have to get some slick stuff. Okay. Okay, guys, I think we're about there. I've got to put the tire on, so I'll get that on next day or so, and then we'll see what it'll do. The next video we'll put the oil in the tank and purge everything, make our adjustments for the pump best we can without it running, and get some fuel in it and see if we can get her to pop off. Maybe a little more than that, run actually. Just going to need a lot of cleanup, and I think we're going to need to paint it. I don't know whether I can get something close to this burnt orange or whatever it is or not, but that'll be something for next summer anyway. Okay guys, there you have it. We're pretty good shape here. I think everything is probably on except the tire, the rear tire and wheel and brake hub and all that. We'll get that done up, and then we'll go ahead and put the oil in here, purge everything, try to get the carbs synced best we can, and see if this thing will run. I didn't want to mess with the timing yet because it was running before we tore it down, so that should still run. After we make sure that it's running and everything's as it should be, then we'll go ahead and go through timing and that sort of stuff. I might even put the pointless ignition on this one. It's you know, I put it on the AT-90. If you've been with me that long, I've got a playlist on the AT-90, which is the Japanese market only, and this bike was probably brought back by American GI. It came out of the Seattle area. A gentleman that moved here had bought it out there and brought it here, and it was in pretty rough shape, but we did pretty good with it. We just we're kind of looking for a nice tank for it, and if we can do that, then we'll be I think that will be just about all done. But this one's going to need some paint, and we'll strip it down to the frame, sandblast it, paint it, clean up the chrome the best we can. I don't think I'm going to re-chrome anything, but you know, it looks pretty good. But there'll be some painting and polishing, that sort of stuff. But at least we've got our engine together. Everything should be good. Just, you know, we'll have to stick a battery in it, make sure we've got voltage where we need it and all that stuff. So that's coming up probably here in a week or so. And keep your fingers crossed. Hey, thanks for going along on the ride. See you next video.